I mean, it's a huge discussion right now, obviously, with the failure of the national team between, the youth development. In your opinion, obviously you made the decision on going to Europe. Jermaine Jones came out saying, yeah, all the players should get pushed to go to Europe. Do you think the college game kind of disrupts the growth? You have a brother at Harvard playing. You see both options. You waited out both options. In your opinion, how's that interaction between the two options work out?
Yeah, so I think a lot of young players, when they do get the opportunity to go to college and they get offers from big Division I colleges, and all their friends, like, they think that's really cool, and they get to go there, they get scholarship, they get to play in front of their friends and family. So obviously that decision is enticing. Like, it would be a good choice, and everybody knows that's a good choice. And coming here, people don't know about coming here, trying to play professionally, and it's hard. It's hard to change at such a young age. It's hard to move off by yourself into a different country, different language, usually a different language. So I mean, it is hard to adapt, and there's a lot of good things about going. Yeah, and difficulties about coming here. So yeah, it is. I think just the idea of going to college and playing Division I soccer there has been pushed onto academy players, on the young players, and they think that's the best option growing up. So I think college does get in the way of a lot of young players choosing to come to Europe instead.
What was what was the hardest part about moving to Portugal? I mean, I'm assuming it was probably like the language barrier, because I mean, you come in here, you don't know any Portuguese, and now you're in a completely different country. So, like, what was the hardest part about moving just straight from high school to Portugal?
Yeah, I would say the language was definitely the hardest part, but also just being away from my family and my friends. I came here with a friend that actually spoke some Portuguese, so that made it a lot easier, and he helped me get around at first. And then I used an app on my phone to learn some Portuguese. Yeah, it's not the best idea, but it helped.
So
So go ahead.
I was gonna say, what's life in Portugal like compared to Dallas?
Yeah, it's the same. I guess when I first came here, I mean, I don't have a car here and stuff, or my license, Portuguese license, so I guess that's a big difference. We walk around a lot, and the cities are smaller, but everything that you need is within walking distance, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, so I came here not knowing any Portuguese, and that was difficult. And then, especially at first, being away from my family all the time and my friends, and like not being able to see them whenever I wanted to, was difficult. I've gotten used to that over the years as well. I've been here for over 2 years now, so that's gotten a lot easier, but still hard. And now I speak a lot of Portuguese as well, so that makes it easier. I can get around by myself now.
Oh, for sure. Now, I want to ask you that, as an American who did move abroad, was there any bias or an unfavorable, view of you just because you're an American and soccer isn't necessarily the most important sport, or culturally the biggest sport here in America, from players, coaches, or directors or fans that you were over there?
No, there wasn't any bias, I would say. When I came here, I knew that I would have to prove myself no matter where I was from. And I always came out in the trainings and games, and I worked my hardest, and I knew I had to prove myself to get on the starting lineup, or just to get in the games at all. And I think the fans, the coaches, they all saw that from the beginning. I never acted like I was, I can't think of words right now.
Speaking too much Portuguese?
Yeah, I've been speaking too much Portuguese. I forget English now. Yeah, so I never felt like, I never acted like I was better than these players just because I was American or whatever, I always went out to prove myself just like any other player on the field. So I don't believe that there was ever a bias from the coaches, players, or fans even.
So after you moved to Portugal, you played for Varzim for a little bit, and then you eventually signed with Benfica. What was your feeling when you signed with one of the premier developmental clubs in the world? I mean, when you think of Benfica, you think of them having they produce the best players. You see them signed by top clubs such as Barcelona. So, like, what was your thoughts when you when you signed for them?
I would say shock at first, just like the idea that they wanted to buy me and that they wanted to sign me. At first, like it was just a crazy feeling. It's one of the top 10 biggest clubs in the world, if not the biggest club in the world, or most well-known club. So, I mean, it's crazy that I'm here, but I also believe that I deserve to be here. I've worked hard for it, and I work hard every day to remain here and to prove that I belong here. So yeah, I mean, it was a crazy feeling that when I first heard that they had interest in me, and I knew I wanted to be here, and here I am.
Yeah, and you actually just recently had some training sessions with the first team. How'd that go? Was it something different?
Yeah, so those training sessions were great, very intense, great experience for me that I got the opportunity to do that. But yeah, every day is a hard training session with the B team every day. We have to get ready for the weekends with the second league. We have a game every weekend, sometimes midweek games. So yeah, those A-team trainings were a good experience, but I'm always here training hard, getting ready for those games, and I'm focused on our season with the B team and everything. So yeah, great experience. I was happy to get that opportunity, but it's not a different training. It's always the same hard trainings every day with the B team as well.
So Keaton, I mean, you obviously know when the national team, the U.S. national team, didn't qualify for the 2018 World Cup. What are your thoughts on the national team failure? Just your raw overall thoughts on what happened.
It was rough hearing that. I didn't get to stay up the whole night to watch the game. I watched the first half, but waking up to the news that they didn't qualify and that they couldn't beat Trinidad and Tobago, I mean, I don't know. Yeah,
Disappointed.
yeah, that's how. Yeah, I was disappointed for sure, and I think the whole country is disappointed. I mean, all we needed was one more point through all those games to qualify. So, yeah, I was disappointed for sure, and I mean, just moving forward, I think we just have to do better because we can do better.
Obviously, I'm sure the national team's on your mind. How have you had any contact with the program? Is there interaction, or is it just kind of quiet and you just working hard to see if you can get a call up?
Yeah, for the most part, it's been quiet. Tab Ramos did email me a couple weeks back just to check in, and I talked to him a little bit. But yeah, it's been quiet. But I mean, I'm here working hard every day, working hard for my team, playing well in the games, working hard in training. So I'm hoping that I'll get a call up soon, or just get noticed out here in Portugal. But yeah, it's been good. And I'm hoping to get a call up soon.
Oh yeah, I mean we definitely are rooting for you because God knows we could use some change in the national team, as we've talked on the show.
You're telling me, Steven. Dude, you're telling me.
We would love to see you in those colors, Keaton, especially representing Dallas. Be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keaton, what are your goals for this upcoming year? I mean, obviously, you want Benfica B to be basically champions of the second division, but what are some other personal goals that you have? Like maybe what do you want to work on technically and whatnot, and other goals such as making the national team and whatnot.
Yeah, so of course I have the individual goal of trying to make the national team, getting a call up for under 23 qualification for the Olympics, or even a first team call up for even a camp or friendlies or whatever. But here at Benfica, I'm just focused on our second division league right now, getting wins, and then hopefully at the end getting the trophy, getting first place this year. Of course, I would love to experience more training sessions with the first team. That's always a great opportunity, great experience. But yeah, we're all focused on just getting wins in the second division and developing our team, and then also to get the trophy at the end of the year would be awesome.
For sure. Keaton Parks, everybody. We want to thank you so much for taking your time out of your busy schedule to join us. We wish you the best, and good luck for the rest of the season. Talk to you soon, maybe.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
What a great interview with Keaton. I really enjoyed that.
Real good insight, especially on the college aspect.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, what he did really shocked actually people in the area. Because, I mean, like I said, the expected route is usually let's go from high school to college to play soccer. I mean, that's not the route you should do in soccer, in my opinion. But, yeah, so great interview and best of luck. Maybe he'll get called up this
rumor has
next
it.
friendly.
Rumor has it. Who knows? We could go young. Speaking of Texans and soccer, you had Houston in the playoffs. Keaton Parks. Grant Wall tweeted out something that you are very pissed off about.
I mean, is pissed off the right word? I'm more just it's a more lack of understanding from an outsider's perspective. I mean,
he's
Grant
an
Wall
elitist.
Grant Wall tweeted out, here's the
Elitist.
thing about moving Columbus to Austin. What evidence is there from the two current Texas MLS teams that decent crowds will come? Listen, if anyone that is well connected to FC Dallas, to the Houston Dynamo, realize that the problem itself is not the market. You go around, I'm at university right now, UT Dallas. You go around, you see so many soccer jerseys. Pick up soccer games every single day. Everyone wants to play soccer.
Sport that everybody talks about. Okay, you can't go walking into a Walmart, into a Kroger, into a mall without seeing multiple soccer jerseys. In fact, I guarantee there are more soccer jerseys in Dallas alone than there are Cowboy jerseys. Okay?
No, I honestly do agree with you. And both sides always talk about one thing. It's the lack of marketing. And the lack of marketing is a really big problem. I mean, there's a market for soccer, and that's what I said on Twitter. There's a market for soccer, but there is not a market. The market for FC Dallas has not been established yet. So big crowd in Austin. I honestly don't doubt that. I think they'll have big crowds. I think they'll have a fine time if they move. But to say, oh yeah, it's two bird's eye view.
Well, no, but Grant Wall doesn't understand that there's 150,000 in Frisco, 100,000+ in McKinney, 100,000+ in Plano. That's all 15, 20 minutes maximum from the stadium, and there's a tollway, meaning there's a highway right by that's going to fly you up and down from your house to the game. It's not impossible to sell out Frisco at Toyota Stadium. It's not impossible. What FC Dallas has done a terrible job is market the club and exposure. There is no relationship between the ownership and the marketing PR team and the players to the city. There is no established. The fans that go to FC Dallas are soccer fans. Most of them probably don't like what FC Dallas is doing. Yeah, they've had success, but it pisses me off when people say Dallas has no market. No, Dallas has a huge market. Look at all the players that are coming out in Europe. Where are they from? They're from Dallas. Why is FC Dallas... Why do they have such a really good academy system? Because the players are grow up in Frisco. There's a market for them. Everywhere you go on street corners, there is soccer field. I mean, it was the Frisco Soccer Association, Plano Soccer Association, McKinney Soccer Association. Those are rec leagues. Those are massive and powerful leagues in the area that influence and have a ton of area and places to go play games at.
And the same thing in Houston as well. Houston, they have a great downtown stadium. There's a lack of marketing. There's a lack of marketing, and I don't like this narrative that's being pushed out by people in the media who obviously, I guess, don't want Columbus to leave. And I mean, we don't want Columbus to leave, but let's not make this.
Well, you know what? I'm at the point where I'm like, Columbus. If you didn't sell out your stadium, who's that to blame? Because I look at it from a Dallas perspective. If FC Dallas were to leave, I'd be bummed. But what do you want me to say? I blame I don't know what Columbus. The thing is, we need to look at, Armand, is Columbus's marketing. Have they marketed the club? Because Dallas is a complete failure. So on one hand, you have the fans